like it's on your Facebook page?
It is on my Facebook page.
KiPP Elman.
Elbaum.
Bellbaum.
I know who, yeah. ELBAUM.
Yeah.
You can check that out. And it's the acoustic.
You know what bound means, right?
It's a
tree.
Jew thing.
It's tree.
Tree?
Yeah, so you were an L tree.
Yeah, all right, so you know what? I'm going to do something that's only for the guests. Here's the problem. I'm a tree, but, you know, I also love Holland. So here's my skeleton.
Oh, and it's National Waffle Day. So.
All right, I'll give you a quick skeleton note, which is I hate this because I love Holland. KiPP, my first name in Dutch, means chicken.
So it's chicken tree.
I'm a chicken tree.
There
That
you
just
go.
doesn't make me.
It's actually National Waffle Day and it's National Mustard Day. So it's up to you if you want to dip it in the mustard. But like,
I'll wait till a little later in the show so I'm not spitting little pieces of something like you.
It's also National Oyster Day, but these,
now, why
these
is
are
it
in the
oysters?
shape because this is the shape of an oyster.
Now, wait a minute.
And they're too slimy. I just can't.
Oysters are what?
Slimy. But if you feel like getting your aphrodisiac on, go get some oysters later today.
I need something. I'm old.
Well, it's National Mustard Waffle Day, so, I mean, I do want to do the Waffle House tour someday. In London, on this day, the world's first bovine stem cells lab-grown hamburger is cooked and eaten at a news conference. One food expert said it was close to meat, but not that juicy. Can you imagine? I know. What is that? The original GMO burger?
That sounds like it.
A piano reportedly played by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart is found in Baden-Baden, in Germany, on this day. It was just found. Like, how did they know?
Fingerprints.
Naomi Campbell confirms that the former president of Liberia, Charles Taylor, gave her diamonds, and she described them as dirty-looking stones. Oh, that Naomi Campbell. Not.
Liberia is, that's pretty corrupt.
Yeah. So they paid her in dirty diamonds.
Dirty diamonds.
There you go. The Ramzi Youssef, the mastermind of the World Trade Center bombing, went on trial on this date many years ago. Billy Idol was admitted to the hospital after a drug overdose.
Boy, is Billy doing great now, though.
He looks amazing. But see, this is isn't that like a inspiration? Like you can be on the bottom in the gutter, and then you can get better.
And let me add to that. On my birthday party, Ricky Byrd, who just got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
yes.
His Clean and Sober band project, which goes around the country playing for kids, showing they can rock and roll without the use of drugs. That's what we're donating the money to.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad I lived in the 80s, but, like, I don't wish it on any little child. No. It's like, don't start things that you know you have to quit. It's like a waste of time, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'll quit later. It's like, quitting is really a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Oh, God, yes, it is.
It's better not to have to quit.
Yeah, and, some of the evils of these things going around, I mean, we've seen the death and destruction, and it just continues and continues.
Yeah.
It's horrific.
Today is the day that 4 cops in the Rodney King beating were indicted on civil rights charges. And when is that going to fucking stop? Come on. We all better get along already. Hello, world. It's revealed that Andrew Wyeth had secretly created 240 drawings and paintings of his neighbor, Helga, that were never, ever public. Was he like a voyeur?
Something, he was in love. I don't know.
Baseball players go on strike for 2 days on this day. Do you remember that? In 1985, 2-day strike. I guess they got their money. Yeah, baseball
season. If it was
season.
85, I wouldn't remember. I was on drugs.
This was Lou Piniella Day at Yankee Stadium. Do you know I went to Yankee Stadium that day, and my grandfather's name was Lou? And we sat there, and they kept yelling, Lou, Lou, and I kept sitting there yelling for Lou. And he's like, yeah, I know. My grandpa was Louie. Oh, I miss you, Papa. Stevie Wonder signs a $13 million contract with Motown on this day. And that was 1975. $13 million contract.
Stevie was on top of the
Joan Jett forms her rock band, The Runaways, on this day in 1974. And look what happened.
Yeah,
Now she's
look at it.
inducted.
Yep.
President Nixon admits he withheld information about Watergate break-in on this day. Tricky dicky. Oh, yeah. The Moody Blues released Nights in White Satin on this day.
And by the way, I'm working on bringing Denny Lane, Moody Blues, and original Wings member. I'm going to figure it out to a venue in New York in October.
Wow. Bobby Gentry releases her only hit, Ode to Billy Joe, on this day. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
The Revolver album by the Beatles was released on this day. This is terrible. Martin Luther King Jr. was stoned during a Chicago march on this day. And I don't think it's the Bob Dylan stone.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. The Beatles released Yellow Submarine and Eleanor Rigby in the UK on this day.
And now Paul McCartney just walks around the streets of New York.
Yeah, telling people to fuck off.
That's right.
If you take his picture. So he did that to someone I know the other. Yeah. They were like, Paul McCartney? He's like, fuck off. I know, but you get a good story out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know. Anne Bancroft and Mel Brooks got married on this day. They were the godparents of people I know. My mother and Dom DeLuise's wife, Carol, were like best friends for when they were kids. So, yeah.
That's kind of cool.
So their kids, Uncle Dom, their kids were
Who else could say Uncle Dom?
Yeah, their godparents though were Anne Bancroft and Mel Brooks, and they would always tell us stories of like what they would tell. Oh, Mel Brooks is a funny man. I never got to meet them. The Beatles record "Leave My Kitten Alone." Anyone remember that one? Nelson Mandela was arrested for incitement and illegally leaving South Africa. Fuck you, South Africa. Yeah, but we all know it all worked out fine. American Bandstand started on this day in 1957.
No, that's pretty
Yeah. Comic strip Andy Capp made its debut. The first talkie movie, Don Juan, was at the Warner Theater in New York on this day in 1926.
Wow.
And Houdini stayed in a coffin underwater for 1 hour on this day. Can you believe it? He died so not like that. It's like, it's like almost like he did so many things that were so wild, and then, he gets punched in his stomach and dies. Comic strip Little Orphan Annie started on this day. God, there'd be no Annie. The sun will come out tomorrow without
That's
that.
right.
I know. Without that. And birthdays. It's Patrick Ewing's birthday. Maureen McCormick, Marsha Brady's birthday is today. Elvis Duran, we all know who he is. Beastie Boy Adam. Adam, we love you. Happy birthday. Lonnie Anderson. I remember Lonnie Anderson.
Oh, yeah,
of course. Neil Armstrong, supposedly the first man who ever walked on the moon, if you believe they walked on the moon. Do you?
Oh, yeah.
I do too.
Of course they did.
Come on. It's his birthday today. And angels, people who passed away on this day. Josh Ryan Evans. I don't know. I never watched the soap opera Passions, but he died at 20 years old, so he deserves to be an angel with us today. Sir Alec McGuinness is an angel today.
All right.
Richard Burton is an angel today.
There's something.
Yes, but our major angel is Marilyn Monroe.
That's right. Yeah.
It says found dead of apparent self-inflicted drug OD. I like how they even say that. Apparent self-inflicted. The controversy will never end. But our whole show is based on a Marilyn Monroe quote, which is, everyone is a star and deserves their right to shine. That's Marilyn. What was that? That was Marilyn. Thank you, Marilyn. That was her saying.
Cooling things down a little bit.
Yeah. And Carmen Miranda is an angel with us today.
Carmen, was that the one with the...
Yes, it is. Yeah,
All right.
Carmen Miranda.
All
right. She's with us today too, and that about sums up all that. So you ready to meet some folks?
Oh, absolutely.
You want to have your waffle now?
No, I don't
want
want
to
to
push a button.
stuff. I want to push a button.
All right.
Let's see.
Happy birthday. We'll be right back.
That sounds like my life. Trailer.
All right, now you come.
Keeping it rude.